Hey everyone, it's Matthew with Censorless Gaming, bringing you the unfettered truth of what's going on in the crazy gaming world of 2018. Up first, it looks like Bungie may actually be making some meaningful progress towards bringing customers the Destiny 2 that they had wanted from the get-go. It seems they're looking to scale back the Eververse, which is basically their microtransaction loot system that honestly is really geared towards profits, even though the game had a $60 buy-in. Frankly, I'm kind of surprised that some people even decided to purchase stuff off the Eververse, considering the game at launch really wasn't complete. It didn't have a whole lot of draw-in once you got to the end game. It was pretty bare at best, especially considering the original Destiny had finally reached a point where it was a reasonably complete experience. The tipping point seemed to come after the Dawning event that they ran back in December, where basically they added a whole lot of new items to the game, but really pissed people off whenever all those new items happened to be behind loot boxes, which of course you could purchase for a nominal fee. Don't get them totally wrong though, they did make it so that you could at least earn naturally 3 a day. But your chances of getting some of the epic and, masterworked items were pretty low. Naturally, of course, those items are only available during the event, so they're completely exclusive to the time of the event. So if you're only able to earn 3 a day, which comes up to 21 per week, that means that you can only earn 63 of those in total throughout the entirety of the event. So if you really want to get some of those, awesome items that they were including in it, which a lot of them look really badass, if you wanted to get any of those, you had to have amazing luck or just, frankly, an open wallet. Since the gaming community is on high alert though after the fiasco that was Battlefront 2's garbage loot box system, basically they finally decided maybe we should dial this back a little bit in favor of some more positive changes. Destiny 2's game director Christopher Barrett said, "We recognize that the scales are tipped too far towards tests at the moment, and Eververse was never intended to be a substitute for in-game content and rewards, so we'll be making 3 changes for the upcoming seasons. We're shifting the balance of new content in favor of activity rewards over bright engrams. This includes ghosts, sparrows, and ships to achievement reward pools. We'll provide a gameplay path to earn bright engrams and all contained rewards. We'll give players more direct purchase options and make adjustments to bright engrams to allow players to get the items they want more often." For a lot of players, this is excellent news because they really want to love Destiny 2 because they love the original Destiny so much. So to have some kind of news that Bungie actually listened to somebody, the machine that is EA, one of their subsidiaries, actually listened to somebody, listened to their customers, their players, the people who purchased the product. They finally listened. But it still remains to be seen whether or not this will make any actual difference towards the recent decline in player populations. Some other changes that Bungie plans on making is that they're going to be implementing the strike scoring system from the original Destiny, which a lot of people truly loved, as well as some other non-DLC updates like competitive multiplayer and 6 versus 6 Crucible matches, which currently is only limited to 4 versus 4. They're also going to be adding masterwork versions of armor and reevaluating how gear mods work. Barrett also said that Bungie plans to make some updates and improvements on some features by fall of 2018, including item collections and records, weapon slot and archetype improvements, additional Crucible playlists, better clan rewards, masterwork exotics, pinnacle weapons and gear improvements, Trials of the Nine improvements, shaders and dismantling, the future of guided games, and addressing solo versus fireteam matching. And also, due to the flaccid response of the most recent paid expansion, Curse of Osiris, Bungie also seems to be taking some extra time to ensure the next paid expansion is going to be received with some more fanfare. But all in all, this seems like a start. It may actually end up drawing me back into the game for a little while to enjoy some of the updates and improvements. But I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Join the discussion in the comments below and let us know what you think. Next, I want to talk about the Star Wars Battlefront 2 update that rolled out yesterday. The game mode Blast, the game's fast-paced 10 versus 10 kill the shit out of the other team mode, now includes the giant Crack Rock Crate, a mineral planet in the Star Wars universe. They also added a new vehicle to the Starfighter Assault multiplayer mode, which is Iden Versio's TIE Fighter, a slightly cooler looking, more durable version of the normal model. According to the patch notes, the new vehicle will feature the Afterburner ability, Laser Barrage, dual proton torpedoes, and the Inferno Leader ability, which exposes all nearby enemy craft to more damage from all sources for the duration of the ability. And thankfully, still no news on the return of microtransactions. The longer that stays away, I think the happier everybody will be. We've added a link to the full patch notes in the description, so check that out if you want to learn more about the nerfs, updates, rebalances, and other changes that happened with that patch. In JRPG news, it looks like they're bringing Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age to the PC. Final Fantasy XII was one of the most critically acclaimed mainline Final Fantasy titles at launch and received a PlayStation 4 remaster featuring the Zodiac job system that released back in July of 2017. The PC port of this game is going to be running at 60 frames per second and is going to be compatible with 21:9 ratio monitors. The game is going to feature New Game Plus, where you start at level 90. You'll be able to access that from the very beginning, and it's also going to have New Game Minus, where apparently you don't level at all. I don't know why in the hell anybody would actually want to play that, but you do you. It also looks like Steam buyers are going to be able to get a 20% discount if it's bought within the first week of launch, so get that money. And before we move on to the final story, I wanted to share some stuff that I thought was awesome. The links to those things are in the description below. And next we need to talk about the horrific swatting incident that happened back in December. For those of you who aren't aware, back on December 28th of last year, a man was killed in a swatting incident in Kansas. 25-year-old Tyler Barris was booked by Sedgwick County Police after extradition from California on charges of involuntary manslaughter, giving false alarm, and interfering with a law enforcement officer, and was issued a $500,000 bond. All of this started from a dispute on Call of Duty where two teammates, Miracle and Vaporizer, had gotten in an argument over a loss from a search and destroy wager match and then escalated it over private messages. Miracle taunted Vaporizer, then provided an address that proved to not be his own, which then Vaporizer contacted Barris, going by the handle SWATistic, a known swatter. Barris then called in a false report of holding his family hostage at gunpoint and had doused his house in gasoline. Barris gave them 28-year-old Andrew Finch's address, which he had perceived to be Miracle's address that was provided by Vaporizer. Police arrived at Finch's home, giving him order to put his hands up, and Finch reportedly had put his hands to his waist and appeared to be reaching for a weapon, and was fired upon and later pronounced dead at the hospital. It was later found out that Finch was unarmed. From these charges, Barris could face 2 to 11 years in prison and up to $300,000 in fines if he is found guilty. In my opinion, that's not enough. A person's life was taken from the reckless, even criminal behavior of people playing a freaking video game. But I would love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think the punishment is not enough? Is it too much? Just let us know in the comments below what you think of this situation and how you would change it. But that's all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you didn't like it, give it the thumbs down. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Censorless Gaming News.